Hello StarCraft fans, this is Falcon Paladin coming to you with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. This is a game between VampyWorm and MrStork on Ulrena. Again, if I'm saying that wrong, I apologize. It looks like Ulrena to me. We're going to go ahead and go with it. In the top left of Ulrena, we have the blue Zerg player. It is MrStork, representing Omni Gamers. I did some Googling for Omni Gamers, couldn't really find anything about it, but they have a pretty cool spinning logo, so I'm going to go ahead and assume that MrStork is a pretty decent player. In the bottom left of Ulrena, we have the red Protoss player. It is VampyWorm, representing Team Ascension. Again, I think the logos are all a little bit blinded, a bit whited out in the retail of Legacy of the Void. Might need to adjust the brightness on those or something. I'm not sure how those work. Either way, it is a PvZ on this map. Such a weird map. You spawn here or you spawn here, and then all this stuff along the outside edges is up for grabs. There are gold bases. Where are the gold bases? Way on the other side. Is that just the one? Yeah, just the one gold base. Way, way, way out here if you want to try to take it and defend it from your main, which again, let's clear the crap back here. MrStork actually going for some early pressure. Look at this. Spawning pool extractor already finished. Starting that gas at the 1 minute mark. Very, very early indeed. VampyWorm is choosing to wall off and then go for the Nexus without scouting. Oh, this could spell trouble for him. Some early links could force a cancel on that Nexus, which is not something you want to see. The hatchery coming down for MrStork as well. This isn't a crazy one base total all in, but I do think he's going for some early pressure with some speedlings, which could be pretty devastating, again, for our Protoss player. Again, I just want to go ahead before this game really gets started and plug my store. It is an Etsy link. You can find it in the description of this video. It's just t-shirts at this point. Again, please let me know if there's anything else you would like to see in the store, and we'll see if we can make it happen. But pretty cool stuff. Falcon Paladin themed t-shirts as well as StarCraft 2 themed stuff. Again, a link in the description of the video just to an Etsy store, or you can visit the end slate where the cool music plays at the end of my cast and click a link there as well if you don't feel like clicking in the description. So yes, here comes some lings. Look at this, 6 lings on the way at 2 minutes. It's like a 6 pool, man. And here they come, except 6 pools are dead because you start out with too many workers for that to happen. And what is Vampy going to do? I think he might just be forced to cancel. The pylon is definitely going to fall here, getting a full surround on that pylon. And the Nexus, does he let it finish? Yes, Vampy does let it finish. What does he think he's going to be able to do here? There are now 8 lings, 10 lings on the field, 2 more coming, 2 more in production. Speed about halfway completed here, and the wall off is going to happen fairly soon for VampyWorm. I don't know why he hasn't walled off yet. He is getting an adept, but he's going to lose this base. I don't think he can save it. Yes, the mothership core is nice. It can kill a couple lings, but it's a little bit too late, and that's it. It falls. The lings run away. Their job is done. There's no reason for them to stay behind and dive to that mothership core. They could probably kill that adept if they wanted to, but no. The second base is up and running. VampyWorm is definitely behind at this point. Does have more workers than his Zergy opponent, but he's a little bit not oversaturated here yet, but he's going to start to get there before this Nexus can finish. And continuing to make probes when you don't have anywhere to send them is such an annoying feeling. I know that one for sure. Pretty good injects right now from our Zerg player. APM is really low, actually, for MrStork. So 275 APM for Vampy. He's spamming like crazy right now. Getting an evolution chamber, getting another gas. What's the follow-up going to be for MrStork? Because that initial harass was executed perfectly. His worker count is even to his Protoss opponent. There are some adepts at the front line here trying to deal with any more Zergling pressure that comes in. And guess what? Zergling pressure is on the way. 19 lings on the way. And that pylon actually finishes just in time here. Photon overcharge might be able to save these units. Getting a full surround on the adepts. And a few of... Oh, he actually decides to escape. Surprising. He could have killed, I think, both of these adepts and then run away. It had pretty much the same effect there. I mean, he lost a lot of lings, but at least he could have taken something out to show for it. But instead, he just takes the ling hits. 12 lings have died so far in this game and has really nothing to tell home about. Alair's on the way for MrStork again, playing this pretty well. And a Roach Warren as well as +1 missile attack. I like having the upgrades from this guy from Omni Gamers, right? Omni Gamers. The lings again are trying to put on some pressure, but I think VampyWorm knows what's up here. He has force fields, he has photon overcharge available. He's kind of walling off here with the gateway. There's no third base. I don't know. Whoa. This is cool. I don't think I've ever seen that before. Moves on up. And moves back down again. Yeah. Anyway, you'll notice that this is gone as well. I was able to get rid of it thanks to an update to the servant obs interface. I contacted the creator on Reddit. He was so gracious. He's able to fix it for me in like a day. So now this ugly thing is totally gone. There's some more viewable distance, or viewable screen for you guys. Hallucinated Phoenix scouting things out, seeing the bustling and bumping evolution chambers, missile attack, and carapace on the way for these roaches. And I have to assume we're going to go for hydras here as well. You don't really go only roaches if you're a Zerg player. Inject Queen, you do it. I command you in the name of the Queen Whisperer. Oh, that was awesome. Third hatch coming up. Being scouted out by the Phoenix. No third Nexus here. I think Vampy's a little bit worried to move out with the number of Zerglings that are on the field, which is a problem, but I don't know if it's really insurmountable at this point. So here comes the push from Vampy. He really can't let this happen. He can't let the third base come up for this long. There are Lings on the field, there are Roaches on the field, but guess what? Force fields are fantastic. The Lings get right on top. Ooh, right on top of the sentries. The force fields come up and chase them away before any of the sentries actually die. Pretty good force fields there, a little bit panicky, but they got the job done for VampyWorm, that's for sure. Glial Reconstitution just about finished, and Missile Attack finishes at the same time. I think this is new. I don't think that was there before. Huh. Thank you, Servant Obs guy. Lings, Roaches at the top of this ramp, trying to kill everything. The Roaches getting separated out. The Roaches actually trying to focus down units, going after that sentry, forcing a full retreat here. Bad VampyWorm, but I think the intent for Vampy was more just to force unit creation and not allow drone creation to get out of hand. These Roaches are trying to get through there, but it's never going to happen. There are 3 sentries. They can force field this off indefinitely. Blink finishing up as well, trying to come down through this narrow choke. But once again, there's another narrow choke here that VampyWorm can just force field off and keep the Roaches from getting in. I mean, it's kind of like a sentry's friend, right? All these tiny, tiny narrow chokes. Ground Carapace finishing for the Zerg player level 1. Ground Weapons level 1 finishing as well for VampyWorm at about exactly the same time. Coming through, no force fields being thrown down yet, and yes, a little bit late there. There are enough Rings and Roaches here to do a lot of damage to the Stalkers. Blinking back the wounded ones. I think you should go after the sentries and the Adept. The Adept taking shots, and yes, the sentry finally following up. Blink Stalkers are really good against Roaches if they are used correctly, and VampyWorm definitely knows what he's doing there. The Roaches are forced to retreat. More Roaches on the way. Robotics facility finishing up for VampyWorm here. He's probably going to go for Immortals. That is my estimation, is that it's definitely going to be the Immortal. And, yep. Roaches hanging out here, +1/+1. Immortal on the way. They counter Roaches so very, very hard. +2 missile attack is being researched, though, so that's useful. But here comes a giant Blink Stalker attack, taking some damage. And the Queens are involved as well. The Queens probably going to go for this Mothership Core if they can. No, instead they're trying to kill the Stalkers. The Stalkers are just kind of standing in. One Queen dies. Another Queen so close to death. Only has 6 or 7 hit points there, forcing a retreat again, though. Lings, Speedlings on the way. Speedlings a better answer for Stalkers, and here they come. A bunch of Lings in production. Going to try to get a surround, but Vampy is not going to let that happen. It is a 3-base Zerg, but again, only 39 to 49, 50 Harvesters in favor of VampyWorm right now. Heading on back on home, some Stalkers get caught. One of them does have to blink forward to stay alive. Not actually going to die. What are these probes doing? Getting sacrificed, that's for sure. And yeah, a couple Stalkers end up dead, but the full retreat is in full force, and they finally make it back home. Roaches come up here. I don't know if this is a great idea or not, but they're trying to get a good angle to get a concave. Maybe to try to kill this base. They send a single Ling on in. The Roaches are standing right on in here. The Immortal in the back is having a field day. Already up to 3 kills and not being focused by these Roaches whatsoever. 4 kills now. Trying to snipe down these Stalkers instead of going after the Immortal, and 5 kills on that single Immortal. I think those were all Roaches. 7 probes died. Where the heck is he rallying probes somewhere? I don't know. Super weird indeed. Resources lost tab. 3,600 minerals, 700 gas for the Zerg player. 2,800 minerals at 1,100 gas for Protoss. So MrStork, again, down in worker count, 42 to 51. He needs to get that drone count up. He's looking fairly well saturated at his third base, but a little bit undersaturated here, a little bit undersaturated here. Just kind of starving for minerals, you can see here. Not even in the triple digits most of the time. Just continuing to spend his money, which is good. A 4th base now on the way for MrStork. And VampyWorm, his 3rd base up and running with 15 Harvesters. I don't think he has any gas yet, but I'm not sure that he needs it either. VampyWorm is not content just to stay still. He wants to continue to push. Creep tumors trying to spread across the narrow divide are getting sniped on down. Is there an observer on the field? There is one somewhere. I don't know where it is, but the roaches come on through, try to get a wraparound here, and they do get a pretty good wraparound, and they kill a couple stalkers. They do get one of the immortals. Another immortal is still back here with the barrier. Up to 4 kills now. Again, the immortal, the danger here now getting focused. Finally exploding. More lings coming from the backside to do additional DPS. The adept is left behind as the stalkers blink away, but they do manage to escape. Why are there so many probes coming out here? What is going on with VampyWorm? I don't know, but man, they are dying, that's for sure. Finally, the Blink Stalkers and the Mothership Core clean up most of the roaches, force another retreat. It is still about 50 harvesters for MrStork. He hasn't been producing that many workers to this point. Actually, maybe he has been. A few. 4th base now up and running. He probably needs to transfer some workers over that way. And trying to take down this debris for additional avenue of attack, possibly to kill the 3rd base, which really has no defense at all. There are no cannons here whatsoever. Disruptors finally in production for VampyWorm. That's something you see in every PvZ. I don't care who you are. Disruptors are just so good. They one-shot everything on the ground for Zerg except for Ultralisks and Lurkers, which makes them so useful. More creep spread here being spotted by the Observer. Is it a base race, though? I think it might be. There are some defensive lings and some roaches here, but they can take it down pretty darn quickly. Some roaches stay behind. Some lings are here in the mineral line going after these workers as well. The army retreating for VampyWorm, getting headed off by these roaches. Can they get the disruptor? Yes, they get it before the Purification Nova can hit. Well done indeed. All of these probes are falling. Oh boy, 15, 16 probes have died. Purification Nova available. I don't know if that disruptor knows what it's doing here. It's getting focused by these roaches. Can they kill it before it knows what it's doing? No, they cannot. More and more roaches coming down, getting stuck in that narrow divide. But it's 59 to 43 total harvesters. Is MrStork stuck on roaches, though? I really would like to see him tech up. As you can see, these rallying roaches are just terrible. Terrible at this point. Where is his attention? It is definitely not right here. Is that another dead probe? Why? I think Vampy's been trying to send probes up to build pylons here for a long time, and they just suicide themselves. Another base coming up for MrStork. Look at him expanding just across the top of the map. 5 base Zerg to 3 base Protoss is a pretty solid win condition most of the time. Muscular augments on the way for Hydralisks that are in production. Total number out now 0, but 5 are on the way. Fairly low econ game for both of these players. Nobody really able to get a huge army up because of the constant battles. I like it. Another roach dies. Was he rallied down there? He needs to fix these rallies. Rallied over there. Rallied over there. I think he's fixed it. Might be a little bit too little too late. VampyWorm coming into the creep, but I think he saw the hiders and said, I don't feel good about this. How are the upgrades doing on these guys? +2, +1, which is good. The forward pylon does end up following. Kabloosh. Disruptor with 0 kills. I think these are brand new disruptors. They haven't actually fired Purification Novas yet. But this base is up and going for MrStork. If that finishes, the 71 harvesters now. The Roach Hydra looking fairly scary indeed. Pneumatobice Carapace on the way for the Zerg player. And, oh boy, creep spread all the way down here. I didn't realize it was so big over on this side so quickly. Look at that creep spreading with all the multiple tumors. And the new creep spread mechanics and legacy of the void. Hydra versus Adept. Adept wins. Hydra versus second Adept. Hydra wins. And here comes the big push. Roaches, Hydras, trying to kill stuff. A few lings down here taking out pylons. A big attack. Purification Nova killing a bunch of stuff at the same time. Another Nova killing, I think, 1 Roach and 1 Hydralisk. Colossus coming on in with the skin. Looking scary as all get out. Queens here as well, but guess what? Oh, the lings did get cleaned up by DTs and Templar, or rather Adepts. Another rally point of Hydras, but man, once you see that, oh, Hydras. 9 kills on that Disruptor. It's just Queens that are left. I don't know what they're trying to kill. DTs, I guess, but oh, getting slaughtered. So many Queens have died. That one's down to 21 hit points. It is left to escape to tell his friends, her friends and family what has transpired here. 82 to 56 total harvesters. I think more upgrades would be good for MrStork. Possibly getting some Mutalisks in the mix as well would be nice, but I don't know. Did he send his Inject Queens down there? I think he did. That's not good. Don't do that. Oh boy, his no injects available. His larva count has got to be low. 1 larva is available. Purification Nova killing 4 or 5 roaches. DT's right in the front as well. Queens and Hydras from the right side trying to snipe things down. Transferring drones are not in the right place right now. A couple queens coming as well, but I think this might be it. The Zerg player just has nothing left. He's trying to throw 15 roaches at the Protoss, but they're kind of scattered around. They keep rallying in and getting murdered. Drones coming in and trying to fight at the same time, but these DTs are making quick work of them. A spine crawler at the top. 28, 31 drones have died. The Colossus running on in with 5 kills, and that's it. A GG from MrStork. He's defeated. VampyWorm's victorious, and MrStork has left the game. So there we go. Pretty darn crazy stuff. Indeed, from this PvZ. Again, I feel like MrStork's early game was good. Able to force a destruction, or force a kill, I guess. I was going to say force a cancel, but it didn't actually cancel anything. VampyWorm just lost. His early expansion Nexus was massive. He did go back. He did macro up. He continued to follow up with Lings and Roaches. But I think at the 15-minute mark, you got to have better upgrades. I think that's part of it. His splits were not fantastic. Something that every Zerg really needs to practice is just splits against the Disruptor unit, because it is so darn good. And yeah, that's about it. So pretty fun stuff indeed. Thanks for joining me today. This has been Falcon Paladin with yet another daily Legacy of the Void upload. Hit that like button. Hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter and Facebook, all at /FalconPaladin. And until next time, as always, please enjoy the music to end the cast. Visit the store. And until next time, you take care of yourself.